Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Angel and all I do is talk about books. For today's video, we are going to be reading 1-star reviews on all of the books that I've rated 5 stars. So right now, I'm just kind of going through my Goodreads ratings and just kind of like picking out all of my 5 stars. And I have not updated my Goodreads in like forever. And now, like, looking back at all of the 5 stars, I'm, like, starting to question, like, my judgment back then. I did give 5 stars out, like candy. So, we're gonna choose the ones that, till this day, like, I still think it's 5 stars. So, yeah, this is gonna be super fun. So, I don't know how I feel about this book anymore, but the first book that we are going to be talking about is Layla by Colleen Hoover. The first 1-star rating that I saw that instantly like made me chuckle was this review. It says, I hate Leeds so much. He doesn't have a single good trait, and I still haven't recovered from the part where he ate a strand of Layla's hair. And then it said 0.5 stars. The fact that I didn't like a book with my namesake is tragic. Okay, I actually forgot the part where he ate her hair, but that sounds like it would be in this book. Okay, like this book was crazy. It was nothing like all of the other books that Colleen Hoover has written, besides like Verity. I feel like it was kind of like in the same genre of like messed up, but I don't know. Just bringing that up, it was kind of funny. I agree. This book was all sorts of crazy. Which leads me to this next 1-star review. It says, what Coho can't write? Good romance. What Coho can write? Assholes who try to justify their unjustifiable actions. So no wonder that's all she ever writes in her romance novels. I can agree. I agree because Colleen Hoover, she does write like fucked up men. And, like, they fuck up so bad to the point where the main female character, like, forgives them. And you're just like, what? Like, how can you? And this review is totally, I understand it. I get it. But I just love it. I love fucked up men. I don't know. I think that's a red flag for me. I don't know. Anyway. This is getting really fun. Okay, the next book, I just thought that I could get it out of the way because we're already like talking about her. But it Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. But I actually have 2 reviews that I loved because I get it. Like all of these reviews that I'm going to be talking about, like I understand. I just like the book. I don't know. Like I have no idea. The first review is really short and it's kind of funny and straight to the point. It is literally just no. Just no. The next review is DNF at 18%. And then they quote, please have sex with me. I want you so bad. And I swear, once you have sex with me, you'll never hear from me again. I promise. Continues, F this book. Why people continue to swoon over characters who treat them like dog shit is beyond my realm of thought. Especially since she's supposed to be the one who isn't the type of person who does one-night stands. Yet here we are again, a story about a guy who apparently has a magical penis to make you throw your convictions out the window just because he's hot and wearing hospital scrubs. Absolutely not. I understand this review because that's literally like, it kind of bothered me too because in the book, Lily is like, oh, I don't do that. I'm different. I don't have one-night stands. Like that's totally out of like my morals. And she does it. But it turns out to like not be a one-night stand. Like they end up like seeing each other again. So I kind of understand why Colleen Hoover like put that in the book. Because even, like, half of the shit that Ryle says, like, completely just mind boggles me. Like, when we first meet him, he's like, I want to fuck you. And you're literally, like, 2 pages in. I don't know. I love the book. The next 1-star review I'm going to read is on The Truth About Heartbreak by B. Celeste. This book didn't have, like, a lot of book reviews, so I had to choose one that's kind of long. So, sorry. Bear with me. So this reviewer said, disappointing read, DNF. After reading the synopsis and some review and being in the mood for some real angst, I was looking forward to this book. It started out well. I grew to like River, the 13-year-old foster kid, and Everett, the older best friend of her adopted brother. I was not disappointed at first. There was certainly plenty of angst, especially when Everett gets a girlfriend. The years passed, and this is where the author lost me. It was all a bit dull. Everett turned out to be spineless and dull, and River became two-dimensional and stagnant. Sorry to say, DNF'd at 76%. I couldn't take it anymore and was forcing myself to read it. Having read some spoilers, I didn't miss much anyway. Shame. I completely understand. Like, looking back now, it was crazy. I would say there was like thrown in drama for no reason, but I did really like the whole mystery of like, oh my god, like, why can't Everett leave his girlfriend? It wasn't like a huge mystery, but that was like kind of how people described it to me, and that was like the pushing factor of why I got the book. So yeah, I get it. I get it. The whole storyline was kind of all over the place. There were kind of like many plot holes that now that I think about it, like what happened. But yeah, so the next 1-star review I'm going to be reading is on Twisted Love by Anna Huang. If you know me, I absolutely am obsessed with the Twisted series and Anna Huang. So, yeah, these reviews are just really funny, and I feel really bad. Like, I know Alex isn't real, but like, man, if he was real and he was like reading these comments, like, he wouldn't really care because he's like a billionaire, but I don't know. If I read these comments and I was Alex, I would be like crying in my sleep. So I have 2 1-star reviews that I found were really funny. The first one being, people who said this book was good lied. Like, it's just straight to the point. You lied. The next review said, I was going to give this 2 stars, but then my dude started singing and I simply could not. People like completely clown him for singing, but I thought it was so romantic, and like it was so vulnerable for him to step out of his comfort zone and sing to her, because like throughout the whole book there's like the parallel of like Ava, the main character, always singing, and like she wants him to sing with her and he's always like, no, like that's too vulnerable, like I can't sing. And then towards the end, like he starts singing, and like that's how like he kind of confesses his love to her. I don't know. I'm a hopeless romantic. I thought that was the cutest shit ever. The next 1-star review is on Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. It's kind of long. So it says, if this garbage can somehow miraculously get published, then I have hope the smut I wrote 3 years ago can too. This book is fucking horrible. I wanted some badassery, but instead I got a shitty love triangle and annoying characters who I wish just died. I was so incredibly bored for the first 130 pages of this book, and then I skimmed so much that I made it to page 295 in 2 minutes. Then I forced myself to suffer and actually read, and I found it somewhat alright. But this book was still fucking bad. I really don't get why people like this, but whatever. My guy, each to their own. Okay, I do agree that the Throne of Glass series has more, like, not world building, but it's not interesting. It's more of a character development kind of series and less of like a plot-driven, smutty energy that ACOTAR gave off. Throne of Glass is literally, you have to really be in the mindset of, oh, we're gonna take like 13 pages to talk about how this character is going to train. I don't know, you know, it's very slow paced and you really have to be in the mood to read the series. The first thought that I had while reading the series was like, oh my god, this series is so slow. It's nothing like ACOTAR. It's giving a total different vibe from ACOTAR. And I literally was not sure if I wanted to continue it. But I pushed through it and I actually really enjoyed the whole series. Since we're talking about Sarah J. Maas, might as well just talk about ACOTAR. So this reviewer said, feed pressure is real. I swear Ma's protagonists worry about the most ridiculous thing. See here, Farah, from the very first day after she got kidnapped, suddenly thought of her captor as a love interest. I'm not kidding you here, because why else would she kept wondering if he actually remembered her name? Or that when she helped him patch up his injury that he didn't say goodbye when she left the room after. Like, what the heck, girl? I just could not get myself into this. I get it. I would personally say that this first ACOTAR book was one of my least favorites only because it was really slow. But I understand because since it was the first book, it was like building the world and like building who Farah is, who her captor is, and the whole like she fell in love with her captor. I love that. Okay, I ate that shit up. I don't know. I absolutely love that whole Stockholm Syndrome thing. Only in books though. Only in books. The next book is The Deal by Al Kennedy. The reviewer said, mansplaining at its finest. This isn't a profound, life-altering book, just another KU fluff piece. My patience with the men in these type of novels is low. I read this to feel good for a little while and take my mind off of things. That being said, here's why it's a 1-star. Male main character is a slut. Because of course, why write a guy with any depth when you can take the easy way out and make him a slave to his penis? We see detailed hookups at the beginning. I usually overlook those even though they are unnecessary. Then we are well into the story, past the part where they have started hanging out and getting to know each other, when female main character comes over to tutor him and walks in mid-sex with another girl. Instant story killer. It's cheap and a little gross. Note to authors, it's a romance novel. Sex with a random slut is not romantic. I can open up Facebook on a given day and see 20 women dealing with these kind of D-bags. I don't need to read about it in your bargain bin novel. The Off-Campus series is really big for that. All of the Off-Campus series men, they're like male sluts. They are reformed players. I don't know, but I think that's why it was so big on Book Talk and like Bookstagram and like BookTube, because the men in the book didn't believe in love until they met the girl, if that makes sense. Other than that, I love Hannah and Garrett. Okay, I love this book so much. So not that I don't disagree with this review, but I understand it. The next book is Nightfall by Penelope Douglas. This reviewer says, I've really enjoyed this series since the beginning. Will has been my favorite horseman. I was really looking forward for this installment, which is exactly why I'm so mad after finishing the book. The story was just plain boring and sometimes it didn't even make sense. It seems like the author just wanted to be done with the series and decided to rush everything with a horrible plot and sex scenes that weren't necessary. By doing that, she ended up doing a great disservice to her characters. Will and Emery deserved a book that was about them. If the author wanted to write about Alex's story, she should have given her a novella, not rush her story and leave us all disappointed with a long-ass book that put a focus on everything except the main characters. Also, I hated that wedding. They all deserve better. I agree. I agree 110% with this review. I did not like how Penelope Douglas kind of rushed everything into Will and Emery's book, and how they kind of talked about Alex's whole background story and like her love story into this book. I really did wish that they had written a novella for Alex and like her own personal story, because I love Will and Emery so much. They're my favorite like Devil's Night series couple, and so I wanted more of them. And for Penelope Douglas to write the wedding scene in this book, I think they deserved a wedding that they called their own, because they're all such different couples and they all want different things. So I think this book was just completely rushed, and I do understand why it was rushed, because a lot of people did not like the Devil's Night series because it's so controversial. And so the author was just like, oh my god, fine, like I'm just gonna finish it and like done deal. Like we're never gonna talk about it again. Because the author did mention that they're not gonna write a spin-off series on the second generation because they did get a lot of hate for it. So I understand where the author is coming from. But yeah, I love this book so much, and I completely understand this reviewer's like opinion, because I felt the same way. And that is the end of today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed me reading all the 1-star reviews, because I did, and they were so funny, and I didn't really expect to agree with like most of them. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and please stay tuned for more book content. And please let me know what you guys enjoy watching and what you guys want to see more. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and see you guys next time. Bye!